Hello, how you doing? This is the Morning Garden. I am here in the house. I had a very, you know, active day. Um, the the thing about it is, I got out there early. I didn't feel like doing anything earlier, so I waited and actually took another nap. Got up and went ahead and did all of the things that I said I was going to do today, and I got them done. Um, I think what I'm going to do when it concerns my tractor, because Sears sells the tires that I need for the tractor. Well, actually, the whole wheel is what I was going to buy, but I said it's such a waste because to 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 get rid of the wheel and the tire and pay, I mean, I mean those tires are expensive on those tractors that help around the yard. They are very expensive. So I said, well, I could buy them and go ahead and take the hit, but I said I don't want to do that. Hello, how you doing there? I wonder if you saw the signs that well, it's a video I have. I got the sign out on the garage, and it says Morning Gardener Show, and as my email. So I bought that, and I use that for my introduction in some of my videos. But what happened here is that I don't want to use just get another tire. Now it's difficult. I've never changed the tires on the back of this tractor before, so I'm going to go ahead and change them. And that's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and change them out and get fresh. Um, uh, okay, you saw the signs. Yeah, I got them up there. And I got to tell you, to get the air in the tires that I have now, and over a period of time, they don't air. So I said, well, do I want to keep messing with that or just get them fixed? So what I did is I bought some inner tubes, and I'm going to take them up to a car shop and have him put the uh, the tires back on with an inner tube in them, and that way I can still use those tires because they're not um, bald or anything. They just those type of tires lose air after they get a little dry rotted. That's what I think is wrong with them. It could actually be the valve stem is bad, but I'm not sure. I think I tried changing the valve stems. I'm not sure. It's been some time ago. Um, but I was putting air in them today, and I saw that there was it looked like moisture in the tire because I have this new uh, tire gauge that I use to put air in the tires. And the air that I put in the tires, it had actually it looked like moisture was coming out of the tire, water. That's what it looked like. And so I said, okay, water's coming out of the tire. It's been cold here in Maryland, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting to get things put outside. So what I did is I went ahead and put things outside. And uh, okay, you got see, you got your pawpaw trees are growing. Hello, Sue Miller. Sue Miller. All right, good to see you. Hope that you are doing well. My God, sad. Uh, three look like 3 inches there. I'm telling you, it's really good to see you two in here today. It is. I came to just stay a few minutes. I mean, that's what I did um, because there's not a lot of people that actually come to my site, and it's kind of, I keep going over the same things, and I'm trying to teach everybody little things I can about gardening. Now, this right here is some of you recognize this. Tell me, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? Let's see. Okay, nobody put anything yet, but I put them in anyway because it kept getting cold. It kept snapping between cold and warm, cold, warm. Um, and So I said, wait a minute, I'm not gonna wait all summer and try to do these. So I went ahead and put them in this cup here, and they doing well. I just put them outside, um, and look at how green and pretty they are. No lights, no heat mat, none of that. It just put outside, and I put about that much soil on top of them, and that's it. And that's how I do. Well, it's since somebody knows what this is, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. This is corn, and this is a variety of corn that I really like. It's called peaches and cream, and it really did well. You see, I left a label here on it, the label with a pack actually. Um, so I mean, and I'm going to take them out and separate them and plant them out, and they should do fine. And I bought a corn from Walmart, which was it was just called sweet corn. And I said, well, I'm gonna get it, because at the time I couldn't find the peaches and cream I was looking for until I went to Home Depot and they had it. Finally got it in the shelves, and so I went ahead and got it. Today I put okra out, and all I did with the okra is the same thing. Buried the seeds about that deep, under the soil. Watered them down and left them inside of cups like this. And I'm gonna tell you something. I really like these cups because these cups have a reservoir right here and allows everything to kind of stay moist. And all I gotta do is when I get to the height I want, I take them out, separate them, and put them in the ground. And whatever grabs on and does well, whatever does that is good. Peaches and cream corn. Really like peaches and cream. Yeah, yeah, I like it too. I like it. It's good. And I got a ton of wood chips out there that's been sitting out there for about a year and a half. It's all rotted down, and I'm going to use that as part of my gardening this year. You do a mulch around each plant, um, and that should be fine. I did everything. I did everything that way, and I'm telling you, I had much success. I needed some house plants. It's another. I'm changing the subject here now, but I needed some house plants, and it was one that was given to me about 23 years ago. My mother gave them to me. She gave me two plants. One survived. It was given to me 23 years ago. And let me show you what I got here. And I knew when it got down to one plant. I had one plant for about 20 years, 22 years. Yeah, 22 years. I had one single plant. And sometimes it would die back and sometimes it would live. And I got tired of saying, wait a minute, I'm going to lose this plant one day. And I said, now what can I do to keep this plant going? So I just cut it up into pieces and and grew out the pieces. And look what I got that came from it. And it's in a liquid feed, and this liquid is uh, really doing well. The leaves are small, but nevertheless, these are some healthy, hard, thick, hardy plants. And I'm gonna plant them out into some soil and put them in different rooms. I get rid of that one little leaf there that died off. And what I did, when I put them in there, this was just a straight stick. I took the leaves, cut them off halfway so that it wouldn't lose too much moisture. And then all of this grew out from that one piece. And then this grew out from that one piece. And you just go on and on and on. So they have roots, they have roots and they're doing well. And those are going to be house plants. And they're going to get really a lot more bushy to them once I get them. I shouldn't have moved them because now I'm having a hard time sitting them down. I don't want it to topple over. But I got to tell you, you can do a lot with a little. You don't need to keep going to the stores and buying plants because these are like this is corn here. I could put the seeds in the ground, but I didn't want to do that. I said I don't want to do that. I want to where I know how many came up. I know how many germinated basically, and I can concentrate on just feeding, watering, and that sort of thing. But that's corn. The other one I have another container of corn, not as well, did not do as well as the peaches and cream head did. It's like half that amount. And I said, wow, the same size pack, but it just didn't germinate. And these were fresh seeds from Walmart. In these pots, I did same kind of pot, the same kind of pot here. I did peppers, tomatoes, okra. Um, what else did I do? I did something else. It'll come to me, but I grow them and then I separate them and I put them in, um, the ground. And that's what I do. And it saves me money is because I went out and I did a few videos and I said, let me see how much these plants this year cost. They had pepper plants like about that tall, and some a little taller than that, about 6, 7 inches tall, and um, they were $5 a piece. And I said, my goodness, what happened to the good old days? But they had some tomato plants that were in a container. They were about 2 feet tall, and they were $20 for one plant. And all it took was somebody didn't know how to grow them, whatever company grew them. It was at Barney's, I think it was. And Barney's is one of the, in my opinion, the most expensive uh, plants that you can buy. And they're most expensive. Yep, most expensive. So I grow my own plants. I don't like paying $5 per plant. And I'm gonna tell you something else I saw that was interesting this year. They take these little plastic cups, the little square plastic cups, and I've never seen this done before with the box stores, but they put watermelon in a watermelon seeds in those cups. They put about 4 of them in there, and I said, wait a minute, they put 4 in there. It was 4 plants. Now, given the fact that watermelon plants, you do not want to take watermelon plants that is that young, they're about that tall, and they're about $5 a container, and you cannot separate them without damaging or killing the plant or plants. So I said they must want you to put these in a hole or a hill and just grow them out as 4 plants, or grow them out and then whatever gets to a point where you say, okay, now I know which ones I'm gonna keep, and then you just take a pair of scissors and cut off the other 3, um, which I consider quite a waste. But I did plant some watermelon plants this year in cups, and a lot of them, amazing enough, did not germinate. But keep in mind, they were old seeds. They were old. Excuse me. And I'm thinking of putting in some more before it gets too far into the season. Get it done quickly. But Sugar Babies is my most popular one to put in. Then I bought one that was an orange variety, supposed to be a new variety of, uh, you know, of watermelon that grows well. See, some of the old varieties, some of them had issues. They grew big, awkward. Some of them didn't germinate well, and so what they did is they kept doctoring around with seeds and the crossing them, come up with varieties that grow faster or smaller. And people like to grow those types. Seeds are very expensive. I grew 2 and grew one. My pastor, I had others in mind. Pastor is, uh, yeah. Oh, that's really good. That you had success growing wax beans plants. That's really good. It's really good. My first plants that I did in life were beans. And that's how my father got me hooked. He was in the kitchen and he, you see his son, you look down at your son and say, I ain't got nothing to do. Come in for a minute. And I said, yeah. And he said, yeah, gave me 5 or 6 beans. And he said, go plant those. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, put them in the ground. So I did that. And when they started growing, and he gave some to my brother, he gave some to my sister, they weren't interested. I was. Okay, well, you two have a good day, sir. Have a good day. And hide their food forest permaculture. Every time I walk by that tree, I think about the fact that you gave me the idea with the grapevine growing through the tree, because the grapevine is getting big and burly. It's got grapes on it growing in the tree. There are some trees I'm getting rid of, which is some of those cherry trees, which never produced. Um, and then the weeds killed some other trees, which was called vines, actually. Killed one tree. It just killed it. And it killed some of my grapevines. So I'm going to be more active in the yard and make sure I don't allow these vines to just take over everything. So that's how that works. Got a pear tree healthy grew well this year. Did not produce not one pear. I bought a pear from Stock Brothers, and it didn't produce as of yet. It's about 5 years old. I think about 4 or 5 years old, and it doesn't produce anything. It's right next to a pear tree. It's right next to a pear tree. So can grab 2 of the surgeries and you like. I don't know. I mean, I kind of gave up on cherry trees. I just did. I got one that's a Bing this year, and it's producing cherries on it, but they look weird. They're green. They're real tiny, and I'm looking at them saying something's wrong here. Time I had a tree do that, when I uh, tried to remove it from the ground, I was able to remove the tree from the ground without digging, and all the roots were gone. All of the roots were gone off the tree. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what was going on. And I left that tree lying there. It was about 4 or 5 years old. I left it lying there. And do you know, today that tree is not there. It went right back into the ground. It went right back into the ground. Every piece of wood that I've ever put as a border around a piece of garden, a grow space rather, is gone. Uh, is gone. And you picked some berries today. Picked honey berries today. That's all right. I don't have any berries to pick right now. None. I just know that I got some healthy apple trees. They're doing really well. They didn't grow, like I said, they didn't grow a lot of apples. Most of my apple trees are acting so strange. And here's the apples I got on my property: Granny Smith, Fuji, Pink Lady, and Honey Crisp. I think it is. I think I said that already. Yeah, and all of them should cross, but and they're about 50 feet or so away from each other. And some of them closer than some of them 22 inches apart, planted. And those trees are doing quite well. Yeah, I don't know what the berry is either. I don't know what it is. Uh, Apples like water, so they grow roots to catch water. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know. Okay, apple trees. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I do with my apple trees. Uh, I don't water them. I don't feed them much anymore. I used to. The thrill is kind of gone, so I kind of let them grow on their own. Um, I used to feed them wood chips. I used to feed them when I would cut the grass, big uh, piles of grass I would put down at the base of it, and that made the tree go crazy, growing lots of branches and leaves. And I said, "Wow," I said, "That's too much nitrogen." Okay, I'll give it a try because I have lime, and I also have something called wood ash from my pellet stove. I got that from my pellet stove, so I'll try it. But they didn't produce a lot. This year they just didn't. One tree's got maybe not even 10 on it. The other one's got what I can see on it so far is about three. So we'll see what happens. I appreciate, but I do appreciate that information. I do. Yeah, I would do that because I want to grow fruit. I don't want to just be growing all this wood. And my trees do produce a lot of wood. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Wow, you moved to Michigan. Wow. And the only thing I want to grow now is apple trees and the pear trees, apples and pears. I don't know what's going on with the plums. The trees are about 4, maybe 5 years old. They're not producing anything. And I do have. Um, let me see what they are. One is a God. What is that plum tree called? Stanley. And then I have another one. It's got a lady's name, Santa Rose, and they're not producing anything at all. They just grow pretty big trees, and that's about it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Let them do their thing, but I got to tell you something. They were getting so big, I had to bring them down inside. They were getting so big, 23 feet tall, and these are supposed to be dwarfs. I bought them from Stock Brothers. I'm not affiliated with that company, folks. No, it just didn't produce a lot of blooms. It just didn't produce a lot of blooms. The apple trees had a few blooms on them. They were pretty. Um, and I didn't see a lot of blooms on what in fact I didn't see any blooms on the pear trees. I didn't see any. And I kept thinking, oh, they'll come later, and I never saw them. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I could use a picker to get the fruit up high, but it was worrying me when those trees were getting out of control. They were getting big, and I was concerned. I said, wait a minute, I wanted these to be small, neat trees, and Mother Nature had another plan. They said, okay, since you put all these wood chips in this soil, and you got the soil acting all rich and everything, okay, I'm gonna grow you some fruit trees. And it did that. It grew big, burly trees, heavy branches, and the height on them and the width of them was just getting out of hand. I said, okay. I need to do something. I have one tree that grew all the way up. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that wood chips have very little nutrition. But I see that everybody, for the most part, was liking wood chips for one reason, is that the soil biology likes the wood chips, and they would everybody was grabbing the wood chips and calling in for them and putting them on their farm, and that's why I started using them. I said, let me just see what I can do with these wood chips. So I tried them, and still to today, I have, excuse me, I have used them, and they keep a lot of moisture around the roots, and that's a good thing. Um, and lots of worms sometimes come up in these wood chips and will feed on them. Oh, okay, okay, they're good for that. Okay, yeah, because my soil is loose. My soil is loose. They used to be, my soil used to be hard clay, and it's not hard clay anymore. And now the trees that I put in the ground. See, when everyone gets trees in the ground, they usually have expectations of them. They picture all of this fresh fruit. The only problem they're going to have is what to do with the fruit, and it's going to cost a little to nothing to produce. You need sea soil and lots of it. Oh, okay, okay. Because I have clay soil, and I've never had an issue with clay soil being lacking in nutrients. Everything, all the weeds in my yard grow extremely well. All the weeds grow extremely well, and the the weeds that grow are chopped and left on the surface because I noticed that when I grow um, uh, and use my chop and drop, it makes the soil act crazy. I mean, everything in my yard that's weed and vines is growing so fast you can barely keep up with them, and they're healthy and they're strong and they're thick stems and everything. And I know that they're getting food from also my chop and drop. So I'm proud of that. But I got to get the thing down, like you're saying, about the fruit trees and get the apple trees producing and get the pear trees producing and the plums producing. Don't well, like I said earlier, I don't want to mess with the cherries anymore. I got one cherry tree that I'm going to keep, two, maybe two, and I'm going to keep them. Um, and it's because one cherry tree, I don't know the name of it. I put it in some time ago and I lost the name of it. I should have, wrote it down or something. But I purchased it at Stock Brothers, and what they sold me on was a sweet cherry that did not need another cherry tree, and that's how they sold it to me. It didn't need another cherry tree to produce, but it's been in the yard for years, and so far in the last 5 years, it's given me three cherries, and that's it. Three cherries. No, it wasn't that type of cherry. Let me see something if I could find it. Let's see. But old tree. Let's see, old trees. Now I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Food farmers permaculture. Here's what I'm gonna do. There is a idea I have. I want to take two apple trees and plant them close together. I want to also get those apple trees from cuttings. Now, I know that when you get them from cuttings, they'll be standard trees. But if you keep them cut, you can keep them a certain size. Is my understanding. Okay, grafting, that would be great if I took the Bing and grafted it to that tree, because it's the only one I have. That's a cherry tree. I could actually get. That's a good idea because they are right now about 100 feet apart. They're 100 feet apart. Yeah. Thank you for that, Food Farms. 'Cause I can do that. I seen a guy grafting on a video, and he was using a drill, and he drilled, and he got a piece of another tree, and he skinned it, and he stuck it inside the hole where the tree was grafting it to, and that's how he did it. Cherry trees are water lovers. I didn't know that. Wow. Thank you. Well, good people, I'm going to go now, but I appreciate all the love and information y'all gave me. Thank you. I'm going to put this, before I forget tonight, put this back outside because right now, see, it's starting to kind of got that wilt look to it, kind of wilt look. That's corn and no water, no cherries. Oh, well, I didn't know it was that serious. Wow, thank you. But what kept me liking that cherry tree was that when I got that three cherries from it, I ate one of the cherries and it was so good. It was better than all the other cherry trees um, that I ate. It was so good, and I said, "Wow, that's going to be my cherry." Um, I'm just messing with this. I want to look for. Um, let's see if I can find what kind of cherry tree that is. They got a tree that Stock Brothers sell. That's a pear tree called a Delicious, and I have no idea what that is. But to me, it looks like a Bartlett. But I used to have a cherry tree. The same cherry tree produced very well. Great seeing you again. Have a great uh, rest of the Memorial Day. Thank you so much. Um, the I can't seem to find it. It's in here. I know it's in here. I'm looking for Stock Brothers. Stock Brothers. There we go. This is that's what their page looks like. Ah, they had a sale on Bartlett. They had a sale on Bartlett uh, pear tree, and I remember it was a few weeks ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago. They were selling them for $18 a tree. You can't beat that. Now it's back up to uh, that regular price there because Stock Brothers don't got high as hell with the rest of them. All of us, see, shop herbs, all of them have went up in price. All of them, because they know that you're buying these trees to eat food, and they're marking the prices up. And let's see, fruit trees. There we go. Cherries. I mean, they got banana trees and all this stuff. It look like it's going to be just so easy to grow. A lot of it is. if you follow certain principles. Let's see. Wait a minute. They don't show. Let me just look on here because, and these are what the cherry trees look like. I mean, cherry on their page. I've never known them to be evasive. I never known them to be. I mean, only thing I know is that mine, the same tree I've had for about 5, 6 years, the bark that I have is it produces a lot of pears sometimes, but this year it didn't do anything, and that stunned me because I was like, what? But yeah, yeah, it produced a lot of. I mean, I had a lot of pears, and they were all beautiful, uh, size pears. Yep. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we got here. I'm looking at. I see. Okay. This tree does not need a pollinator. That's what it says. Does not need a pollinator, but will produce more cherries if it has a pollinator. Worse, and thank God they're gone. Summerstone Nursery, worst nursery online ever. I heard bad things about another one called Tai Tai. Okay, take care now. Bye, Earthlings. Okay, take care. Good to see you. Well, good to hear from you. Yeah, the worst company was um was Summerstone Nursery. I mean, horrible. All right, good people. This is the Morning Gardener Show, um, and we had some conversations about how to save money on plants. So it made it worth your while somewhat. And how I plant corn in cups, which is better for me. So I use this method, and I'm going to continue to use it because it works very effectively. You take them all out, and you just you do a furrow, and you just put them in the ground and cover them over and water them, and you're good to go. This is the summer. This is not Summerstone Nursery. This is the Morning Gardener. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you.